Hey Rawlicious souls, my name is Toni. Welcome to my channel. We're going to talk about hunger and how, especially when we want to change our diet to something much more healthier, then we do get really ravenous all of a sudden. All these addictions really kick in, but we feel hungry all the time. And it's not a great feeling. It's not nice. I know, especially in the beginning stages of eating a raw vegan diet. And also, I'm also going to share about the intermittent fasting as well, because those two together is going to catapult your success, your weight loss success, and your health and vitality. Raw vegan, plant-based diet and intermittent fasting is where to go. But you will initially experience some uncomfortable feelings physiologically and psychologically. So that's why I work on those two key areas and what I'm going to share in today's video. I'm going to share 5 tips on how we can move through this process in a much more easier, enjoyable and gentle way. Now, number 1 is eat in abundance of raw plant-based foods, fruits and vegetables. These aren't as dense as the foods you are currently eating, like the cooked oils and the fats. You'll feel like you'll just have a few bananas and you're full, but a few hours later, you're starving again. So the goal really is to eat more than you realize. I remember back when I first was eating a high raw vegan diet, I was doing raw until dinner. And then some days I was doing fully raw. I would always get that pain in my stomach, that hunger. I was always thinking about food. And that's because I'd only eat 2 or 3 bananas. Didn't realize actually you need more than that. You need a lot more. So if you need to at first, just track your calories more for eating more, eating abundance. Because about a banana is 100 calories for one. Really, you want to be eating 500 to 800 calories. So 5 or 8 bananas, sometimes 10 bananas. But that's not always the case. If you can always just have the bananas and the mangoes, blend it up, take your time in consuming it. But eat more because they aren't as heavy, they're not as dense. So you will naturally feel hungrier not long after. Number 2 is eating the right foods. So we may initially come into thinking we want to go low fat, especially as raw vegans. We all pretty much know a lower fat is what's going to make us feel better. However, especially coming from eating a standard diet or a heavy, denser diet, good fats like your nuts and your seeds are going to be your friend. Do not be fearful of these foods. And even the long-term sustainability, you might drop it from time to time. You'll explore and experiment and see what works for you, but enjoy them. I don't usually like them early in the day, I like them later on. But if you are coming from a really heavy diet or you're just not feeling sustained, eat the nuts and the seeds. Put those into your smoothies. Put them into your salads. I don't like actually eating them on their own. I do like to blend them up. So most of the time I'm blending them into sauces. For me, I like to eat watery, lighter foods early in the day, and then I have the heavier foods later on as my energy starts to just get slower, because I know these foods, these nuts and seeds, I don't feel as energized. However, you probably won't experience that at first, especially coming from the heavy foods already, from the cooked heavy foods. So enjoy the nuts and seeds. If it means you have to have them in the early stages, in the beginning stages, then enjoy them, have them in. I've got lots of sauces. I'm going to be sharing a lot more for you to enjoy on your salads and also into your smoothies and smoothie bowls, enjoying the nuts and the seeds. 3 is be aware that you will be detoxing even on a raw plant-based diet. So that means with a detox, you're going to experience some detox symptoms of hunger, of uncomfortability, irritable, even headaches. There's a myriad of symptoms that's going to come up as you transition. So that's why we can incorporate what I shared in number 2 of different foods, such as nuts and seeds, that can slow down the detox. But just be aware that this is normal and that this is the detox phase. And eventually you start to get into this sustainable, raw vegan life. Number 4 is discipline. Yes, you do need discipline. You need parameters in place in order for you to succeed. If we don't, then we're just going to go, any trigger, we're just going to go to our default, what we've always done. And that's where we keep stuck. So we've got to have self-discipline. And this takes time to build up, but we can do things gradually. I really enjoy the intermittent fasting. It's the ultimate discipline and sustainable and easy. You can start with the 16-8 or 18-6 method. So 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. I like to eat well before my bedtime, 3 to 4 hours. So my eating time frame, and this could be different for you depending on your activity levels, what you do in job wise, but I like to eat during the day. I don't like to eat on the evening, at least 4 hours before bedtime. What I've realized for myself, an experiment for you, is if I eat too late, I'm starving the next day and I don't feel as focused and as energized. I've been tweaking this for years. I feel so good in the morning when I haven't had a heavy food just before bed. So intermittent fasting is a really good tool to have on this journey because it really does teach you some discipline, but it's a gradual. You might even start with less fasting. You might just do 10 hours. Most people are eating 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, not leaving that gap to fast. It's fasting where the true discipline and healing takes place. You know, we will struggle initially. If you've heard of ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone that's released every time we want to eat something, that's released. For example, if you're not eating breakfast and you have been, that's going to be released automatically. It's a default. So it's not always up here psychological, it's a physiological experience. Naturally, our bodies will release this hormone because that's what we've always done. So if you're eating 3, 4, 5 meals a day, your body has got used to that. This is what the world is conditioned for us to do, which is this is what's keeping us trapped and locked in this sick, diseased behavior. So if we can really tap into that discipline and say, okay, this hormone's been released naturally, but I'm not going to give into it because I know after 3, 4, 7 days, that's going to stop being released and you're not hungry. So I'm not hungry in the morning anymore. The same with the evening. If you stop eating at a certain time, your body will stop releasing ghrelin. So this hunger hormone, let your body adapt and adjust, give it some time, and then it will be naturally and easy to do. And the final one is number 5, work on healing your shadow. We call it the shadow work. Heal the wounds, the trauma, the triggers. The only way we can do that is to really stop using food as a distraction, as a comfort. For me, I used to be a huge comfort eater. I would use food to numb, suppress my emotions. Most of us do. I've seen it time and time again. Even people say, no, I'm not really an emotional or comfort eater. Yes, we are. We have become so habitual in the way we respond to challenges in life. We can react so many different ways, such as even if you're bored, we just eat out of boredom. A lot of us are emotional and comfort eaters. And the way we get through that is to be present with those emotions. So not using the food to suppress these emotions. Let them come up, let them be heard. And this is what we work on in my programs, in my one-on-one coaching. We work through that process of healing. Don't just use raw food and intermittent fasting. They're great, phenomenal tools. They're the foundation, especially the raw plant-based diet. But really we want to get to the root cause of our reactions, our triggers, why we do these behaviors that are not serving us, why we keep sabotaging our efforts. You know, you keep moving 1 step forward and 10 steps back. I was always yo-yoing on every single diet. Nothing worked until I realized that if I feed my body with the right foods, feed it with an abundance of foods, nourish the cells, but also at the same time, work on the mind, the psychological aspects of eating. Why do we continually self-sabotage? If we can just listen to what's coming up, we can heal those past traumas, those wounds, our pain, our suffering. You no longer have to suffer. I have a free Raw Living group to support you on your journey. If you want to work really closely with me, that's where I offer one-on-one coaching. Do reach out, ask me any questions. If you want support, then I'm here for you. I hope you like this video. If you do, put a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, and also turn on the bell notification to be notified of the next videos. Be, feel, and stay Rawlicious.